Hey YouTube friends, it's Nancy here and I'm back with another process video for you. Again, this is trying to use up what is now known as the caravan stash. And I'm just pulling out that piece of paper that you saw me try to use on a previous layout. I want to do this one photo on this layout, and I've just pulled out a piece of navy and pink polka dot from the Lucky Charm Dear Lizzie collection. And I'm just using that to mount my photo up on. And just trying to work out where I'm going to place it on this layout. I'm pulling out this simple stories one again, just looking at the different bits and pieces that I've got. And then I'm just building up some layers behind my photo. And as I quite normally do, as I'm using my offcuts on other parts of the layout. Again, that other piece of paper there was on my desk, and I'd used that previously, or tried to use it. Sorry about that, you see me like reaching across my desk there. I decided that I wanted to just mount this piece of paper on a piece of plain white cardstock, because I was just finding it was just a bit too blue, if that makes sense. It was just a little bit too in your face, so I'm just going to stick that down there and bashed my camera in the process. But I'm much happy with how that looks, and because all the paper that I'm using is has got a white base to it, so I'm much happy with how that looks. And I'm just chucking this all together quite quickly. I find quite a few people have kind of asked questions about, because I do my layouts quite quickly. I mean, this one wasn't overly quick, because it took just over an hour, but I think because in the caravan I'm still trying to get used to where I'm putting everything, or where everything is. I think you get to a stage within your scrapbooking, like, well, I did anyway, when I realised it was stressing me out so much, and I was spending like 2 or 3 hours on a layout, and they're not really liking it. Well, you just go, well, I'm just going to stick it down. It's just paper. If I don't like it, I can peel it off, or I can stick something over it. It's not the end of the world. So, anyway, I've kind of gone off track there, but I was just kind of, I just stick it down and I get going, and I'm just trying to use up all these little scraps and little bits I've got on my desk. These 6x6 paper pads, I'm making it my mission to get rid of them, so you will be seeing them in lots of different guises, hopefully. Excuse me. So here I am just taking some more of those cut apart pieces for this, and this is a photo from our road trip, so it'll be going in my American album. And I'm just pulling out the little bits and pieces that I've got from, the little colour parts that, normally if they're in 12x12, they're much bigger, but I kind of quite like them scaled down in the 6x6. Managed, even though I covered my photo, to put some white on it. As you know, I don't have all of my inks here, so I'm just using the ones that I've got. And that's that white one. I also do not have a heat gun though, so I have to sit and wait for it. Again, I apologise, I seem to keep climbing over my table, which is kind of rude of me. I've got another little storage box here with some stuff in it. Stuff that I didn't particularly like, evidently, because it was left here. So, just pulling some bits out there, and again, I've got bored of waiting for it to dry, so I'm just going to pat that down. Excuse me. These are some little travel themed bits that I picked up at Michael's when I was in the States, but they don't get on the layout. So now I'm going to start looking at building up these clusters. I really like that kind of hexagonal piece. It's, it's a nice bright colour, and I did want to use kind of quite bright graphic colours on this layout. The layout is, the picture even, is of a petrol station that we stopped at on our road trip. We picked our hire car up in San Francisco. We flew from LA to San Francisco, and then we drove back from San Francisco to LA. we were in the middle of nowhere at this point, and we decided that as there was a shop, we were going to stop and get some snacks. So that means Cheetos, and we were also alright. We better fill up with petrol. Herein starts the drama. It's always funny when you get hire cars anyway, because you don't necessarily know where everything is. And you're, moving bits around and you don't quite know where the knobs and buttons and everything are. Well, do you think we could get the petrol flap to open? We pulled over to the side here because we were going into the shop first, and I just kind of said to my boyfriend, "Oh right, shall we just work out how everything works, and then we'll go over to the pumps and fill up." I mean, in the States, how you fill up your car is completely different to how we do over here in the UK. So we kind of had that whole mission that we knew ahead of us. So we wanted to make sure that we didn't look like complete and utter idiots abroad. And so we thought, yeah, okay, we've found the lever. This is what we do. Well, do you think we could get this lever to open the fuel cap door? Well, we tried the engine off, the engine on. I don't know what we didn't try. There was me sort of laying across from the passenger side to the driver's seat, pulling this thing while my boyfriend is trying to open it at the back. Then we're swapping, and I'm like breaking nails trying to prise up this fuel hinge. And this went on for, I would say, I know I like to exaggerate, but I would say about 20 minutes. And when you get to that point where panic sets in, and we were like, okay, what do we do? What do we do? Do we go over and ask the people at a petrol station and look like complete and utter idiots? I don't know. What do we do? What do we do? Well, I got to the point where it was like, right, we're going to give it one more go. And I was like, just pull the damn lever. And my boyfriend just like went, yeah, pulled it, and it popped open. Like it had been laughing at us the whole time. So we drove over to the petrol station with it open, because we were like paranoid that it was going to shut, never to open again. So this is what this layout is documenting. The fact that I spent 20 minutes at some petrol forecourt shouting, pull the damn lever, this is ridiculous, getting really hot up and stressed. We then went over to the petrol pump, and the petrol station, fuel station, didn't actually take my boyfriend's card. For some reason, his card was not accepted in the machine. So not only had we had a trial of trying to fill up the car, worked out eventually how to fill up the car, by connecting the nozzle and all that, which is completely alien to guys in the UK, to then not be able to pay for it and be in the middle of nowhere. So it took us a good kind of like 40 minutes to actually work out how to open the petrol flap on the car, to fill it up with petrol, and to get back on the road. It was so stressful. It was ridiculous. We then, when we got to LA, we were kind of the second or third day there. We needed to fill up the car again. We actually went to like a little gas station, petrol station, with an attendant, and just kind of went, I don't know what to do. And even he had like a real mission trying to open the fuel cap. So we were glad it wasn't just us. And when we returned the car at LAX, we made it quite clear that we'd had huge problems with it, and they kind of looked at us if we were just like crazy English people and we didn't quite know how to use the car. But anyway, I digress, and I've waffled now for nearly 5 minutes about that story. But of course, this is a story that needs to be documented, because it's something well known about our holidays. We always have an issue with the hire car. When we went to actually pick this hire car up, where it was parked, the car next to it was parked so close. I mean, I'm not a supermodel, right? But my boyfriend is a skinny little runt, And, well, do you think he could open the door enough to get in? And so he was clambering over, climbing in to get in the car. It was ridiculous. And then he had to reverse out so I could get in the car. Again, so at this point we'd had kind of missions with this car anyway, so there's a lot of stories about, you know, the cars and travelling with us, so had to be documented. And I say, this was just a picture I snapped. I didn't actually take a picture of the petrol cap, which is really silly because I should have. But yeah, so that is the story that I'm documenting in this layout. All I've done while I've been chatting away, which you've probably been watching, unless you've just been going, shut up, Nancy. I've just cut out lots of different pieces. So little Polaroid frames, some little 3x4 cards, some like little pretend photo strips. And here I am going through my die cut box, my kind of cut apart bits and pieces. I cut out the words on the top there which say, oh snap and seriously, which kind of was like the point we were both getting at when, you know, as I said, panic had set in and we were like, oh my god, we can't go anywhere, we're going to be stuck in the middle of nowhere forever, we can't fill up the car. You know, as you do. So I'm just cutting out lots of bits and pieces here. This is a camera from the Sketchbook collection by Amy Tangerine, which colours went really well with the Simple Stories collection. And I think that collection's called 24/7. I've got it here in front of me. Oh, it's just called Snap Life. So I think it's when they kind of first brought out their bits and pieces, so that's what that's called. I'm cutting out this little globe, and that again is from the Amy Tangerine collection, but I believe that's from the cut and paste? No, not cut and paste. What was the one in between cut and paste? I can't remember. Anyway, it was from Amy Tangerine's first collection? I don't know. It's Amy Tangerine. I don't know. So just using some 3D adhesive here, and getting these, this is the camera I'm going to stick up. And again, I just like popping those elements up, and that works really well in that cluster. Having a little sip of my drink there. That is still the drink that I was drinking in the previous video, which is Sambuca and Coke, which, you know, is all lovely. Now I've got the mission of trying to find some letter stickers. I don't have, like, my thickers or anything here, so I'm just trying to use up some thickers and stuff. And they are really kind of all old and a little bit ancient and a little bit naff, to be honest. So I'm pulling out all the stickers that I have got, trying to see what will work. I decided to look at using these, but they're just a little bit too small and are not going to work. So you'll see me pull bits off and then on again. And then I pull out these stickers, which are old. I think they just never sold. And then I bought them from TK Maxx. I've got them in red as well, but I didn't have enough letters. I was going to try and get leather, but for some reason I'm putting an A in it as well there. Wrong kind of lever, dear. And I pull out these red foam ones, which are from, like, the dollar store. Dollar store? Wow. I watch way too many YouTube videos. From the pan shop. And I'm going to use them on this layout. They're not great, but they kind of go with the kind of, like, quite graphic, quite bold kind of layout. I'm just like thinking, right, what can I use to make this out? And I decide, okay, we're going to put damn in bright yellow letters, which remind me of like football shirts and baseball shirts, basketball, and they're called Letterman, those ones. So I decided to just cluster my title there at the bottom, so I've got enough room to do my journaling there at the bottom. I decided that those black letters are just going to get lost, and I'm going to end up pulling those off in a moment. These aren't super sticky, these letters, so they're quite easy to kind of pull up. I'm then going to do the last bit of the title, which is lever. And again, I'm putting an A in it. I do realise halfway through that I put an A in it. And go, no, Nancy, no, no. There we go. So I'm just going to stick that down. You know, I think it works really, quite well. There's a little bit of trap space up above there, but I'm not too bothered by it. I pull out these really old sassafras that company. Pull out those to add, but they don't really work. And so I end up using these Alison Craft for Echo Park letters, and that turquoise just works really well. And there's these little asterisks. And so I add one of those to each of the clusters. Looking at this, I decided I'm going to move that around for a while. Just ignore that. I decide that I just need to bring a little bit of turquoise down to that bottom, so I add the date. So, thanks very much for watching this video and listening to my rambly crazy stories. Hope you like the layout. It's a little bit different for me. The colours are a little bit different. There will be some close-ups coming up, and I hope to be back with some more caravan stash videos for you shortly. So, thanks very much.